gauge day. So this is for the 66 Nova wagon. Got a tack and the amp gauge. All the gauges, if these work out good, will be the GlowShifts. What I'll switch them all to. Right now, I have the oil and temp in there, but I don't have a tack, and I'm missing the amp gauge, which I want to have. I do have the factory dummy light working, but I don't like those. But yep, that's where we're at. This will be tricky. Now, this gauge here, this is the tack, the 3 3/4. I called them yesterday, talked to them, called, they actually answered, because I had a crazy question for them. There's the number right there. What I want to do is, I got an old school, I don't know if it's from the 40s, 50s, I don't know. It's an old school, like a light. It's in the dash, and there's no light in it. It was broken out on the back. There was no plugs, nothing. I soldered in some LEDs in it, red. What I want to do is, I'd like to have a shift light on the tack. I want to connect to that. It'll be bright, I can see it, but the key is it's not going to be in my face. I don't like tack lights typically on the gauges, because usually you got your gauge facing you, and I don't like the shift light in my face. I don't need it right there. But so on this one, it's gonna be pretty cool. I called them. We're gonna find out. But I noticed on the picture, and I confirm it now, they have the factory plug right here, the big long one. But I noticed there's a 2-pin plug above it. So the guy emailed me back, because I asked him, I was like, is that a tack plug or a light plug? And he had to get back to me, and he asked me to send pictures. I sent him pictures, and he said that is a external light plug, which they don't have for sale. We're gonna find out, because that's what I want. Initially, I was gonna buy this. I'm still gonna take it apart. It has a shift light in this bottom corner. I was gonna find that circuit and solder a wire to that and go to my light. Now, I still might end up doing that if this 2-pin don't work. But what I'm gonna do is plug the harness in, and then what I'll do is I'll check the ground wire to one of these, and then see from there. And then I still might pull these apart just to see where that's going, but we'll see. But it's pretty much, this is the tinted version. It's just a screen protector, but so that's that one. That one's easy enough. This one, you can't really see it. And the tack, I'm waiting, because I don't understand it, why it's not built in like most lights, most of the name brands, they'll work with HEIs. For some reason, GlowShift sells these tacks for gasoline 4, 6, 8 cylinders, and they don't work with HEI. You're supposed to get a filter. I asked him, do I need one? He said yes, if I run out of HEI. So I didn't want to risk installing it, doing all that stuff, and then needing the filter, and then have to sit there and wait forever. So I ordered it. So yeah, it's got your typical brackets here, which I'll be using that for sure tonight. So this is going to be temporary, this install I'm going to do on this. So it's a nice little gauge, actually. Feels good. It's not like, it's got a little bit of weight to it. It's plastic. It's definitely got a little bit of weight to it. So maybe the glass here, who knows. So this one is March of 2025, so it's this year's model. Can't really see anything. I don't want to take the protective stuff off. Since it's on there, I'll wait, but looks like it goes up to, it's hard for me to even see it. It's tinted. 18 volts, I believe. Looks like 18. The Nova, I'm going to be using this. This is just by Gauge Pods. It's a random company. No rhyme or reason why I ordered this specific one. Just did. So, if you ever seen my Camino in person, I'm going to do the same thing to the Nova. So, the Nova, I'm fiberglassing the dash pad. And I'm going to fiberglass this in the dash pad, just like I did on the El Camino. So this eventually will be going in there. So it looks like this model, may have to trim out a little bit. So, yep, we'll have to trim this out down a little bit. It's got some burrs in it. It's probably just the company. And I might switch to a different one. I saw another one that had this one has kind of a drop to it. I saw another one, it was more sleek, so I might end up getting that. So we'll see, but basically this will be on the dash, and then I'll have the oil temp and the voltage there. Right now, if you follow along with the wagon, where the stereo was, I have the plate that I made and powder coated that's in that spot, and that's where the gauges sit right now. And you'll notice I'm missing one. That's the amp gauge. So that'll be the first one installed. I already have the tack green wire ran. I have to wait for that filter to come, then I'll install that. So the tack will probably be next week, and then I might do this one, I don't know, tonight or tomorrow, depending on how it feels. I might do it tonight. We'll see. This one's pretty simple, really, to do. There's nothing to it. So yep, I don't think I'll show the install. It's kind of basic. You just have your battery wire, your ignition power wire, so full-time power, battery, ground, and then I believe there's a dim light. That's the orange, I would think. So by my car stuff, it would have red ignition, yellow full-time battery power, black ground, and then the orange should be your headlight switch for dim. Alright, get it going. Alright, so I got my battery box. I got it basically the yellow and red. Yellow's battery full time, red ignition on and off, black's grounded, so it's on. I already did the test, but I'm gonna try to show it with one hand. This plug right here, you're looking at it from the back of the gauge. The right side's the positive, left side's the negative. So it is correct, that is a for sure tack, external tack plug. I had an email, before I called them on Amazon, I asked a question of what's that 2-pin plug for, and then I decided to call, and the guy had me send pictures, and he said that is a tack port. What's weird is on Amazon it came back and it said that's the plug they programmed this meter with. And I'm like, they said no, that's on Amazon. So Amazon, I don't know, but the guy from the company emailed me, said it was. I just verified it was. So how I found out is, if you know DC, when you go on and off, you usually never want to do that with the power side, because you don't want to arc on the power side, and that's from on and off. So on the negative side, that's usually, like if you look at a lot of your switches, it actually, when you pull, it has the positive, the negative engages. And that's what I found out here, is when I push the gauge to set the tack, so the instructions aren't really good. You push the button, hold it, it'll start, the tack will start flashing, and then you turn the knob to whatever RPM you want, and then you let it save it. So pretty simple. But to do this test, I have to do that same thing. So let me try to get my clip in here, like that. Okay, and let me touch the ground to make sure. Okay, we got 12 volts. What I was doing is touching this to the ground terminal. So what I'm going to try to do is hold the phone with my knees, grab this, I'm going to push the button, and you'll start seeing this light flash. See if I can move this meter up here. You might be able to see it. Let's try to do this. I'm going to push the button, hold it. Okay, you see it flashing? Okay, it's flashing. And if you see, look at that. When I hook this up to the left post, this thing should start going 12 volts on and off. I'm trying to do this 200. There it is. See, every time it flashes, there it is. So that tells me right there, the negative is what turns on and off the light. Reason being is I have the positive side. So when I did it, to find the positive, when I put it on the negative side and put it on there, and I pushed the button in, it didn't flash. It just stayed 12 volts constant. So that's how I know the negative. So if you're going to do what I do, I'm going to probably look into a PC computer, because I know that's what that 2-plug is. This video's going to be messed up. So I'm going to try to look in here. I think that's a PC plug. It looks like it, a 2-pin, old school. I'm going to try to find something that'll work on that. If not, I'm going to solder to the negative. I don't need the positive. I'll just grab the positive from the headlight switch or something. So I won't bother with the negative. Also, soldering that close together, I don't really care for that. So I'm going to do that. So we're good to go. You can do that and then put this thing back together. And there's your dial, which you don't take it apart. You can look in there and see. You take a screwdriver and that pointer, you go to 8 cylinders or whatever you have. I've never seen a 9-cylinder. I don't know, it's a 10-cylinder. So I end up just soldering right there. See it on the negative side. And then what I'm going to do is get some shrink tube and pull this wire with all these and shrink tube it so that doesn't get any movement stress. So that's key. I would not leave it like that. I looked for a plug, the 2-pin plugs I found in my PCs for like the on and off switch on one of them. It's a little bit, it's wider, just a little bit, so it wouldn't work. So I wish I had that plug, but I don't. So we're just gonna, all I need is the ground. I'm not gonna mess with that positive. So we'll just send power to the light. through the key or something. Yeah. So I figured it out. It's a shade. I don't need it, but that's freaking cool. Yeah. It's not a mount. So that's pretty slick. Fortunately, where mine's mounted and all that, the light won't hit it, but it's pretty cool. Yep. So that's not where I wanted it. I wasn't familiar with the Novus. I put it here, even though it's a small one. It's like 3-inch. It was just huge. So, and this column, it had a shifter right here. So right now it's going to dash, and I may have to figure that out with something else. So it's hard to say. I still got the center console to build, all that other stuff, so things can move around. Just like all these 3 gauges will be in the dash. So I'll be staring at them right there. It'll be right here. So there's the light. It's these old. I put 3 LEDs in it, and I'm running the tack light as I showed earlier. It's that wire there that's going over to it. So I'm using one of these old school switches. Got power to it, so that's the automatic dimmer for the new lights, the glow gauges. So this thing's messing me up. I got it. Won't be able to have it all functional tonight because the tack needs a what do you call it? A filter for HEI, I guess. They designed it for a external coil type, not HEI. I still don't understand all that, but I'm not going to mess around with it. I just ordered the filter. Unfortunately, that's on snail mail, and for some reason that still takes forever. So it sucks, but it'll be a while before that comes in. Let me get under the dash. I gotta hook this blue tack light wire to the LEDs over there, and I gotta ground the LEDs over there for that. And then, yep, I should do it. And eventually, it won't be bad because with the light being on my left side, I can see it. So if I move the tack in the center console, which is probably what's going to end up happening, unfortunately, you cannot flip the gauge upside down, which that's kind of a bummer, because that would have been easy to hang from a dash area. I got plenty of factory screw holes all right there, but you can't flip it upside down. So it's temporary for now. We're going to keep rolling. I conquered the beast. Actually, I'm an idiot. So I forgot it's reversed. Somehow I didn't fry anything. So I had the wire come from the tack, which was a negative, going to there. And then I had a positive. So the negative was on the positive circuit. I don't know if that makes sense. So I had this grounded, and then I had the negative from the tack going to the positive to this. So it was just basically had 2 negatives on it. That's why it wasn't working. So I'd undo it, put a positive onto this, then the gauge negative to it, and there it is. So when I cycle this, you'll see it. Nice. So it works. Let's see if I can get both of them. There it is. So I got the old classic light back in effect, and the amp gauge is on. So, yeah, kind of weird one. It's all good to go. There we go. So I got both of them on. Pretty sick. Then when I pull this lever here, that's the dimmer. Yep. There it is. Okay, I got the adapter. That's this little thing here. Resistor or something's in there. That's a little kit. Now what's deceiving is there's two different ones and they look the same. One's for HEI and I don't know what the other one's for. It's not HEI. So that could be the one on Amazon doesn't say for HEI. I think it is the other one, so I don't know. That might be the problem some people have had. I don't. But we're gonna test it out first time. Neutral.